Creativity is something that wells up inside of you that you can't quash, that you can't stop, and you can't tell it to go away.
It's the expression of your emotions in action.
I think it's creativity's ability to let yourself think freely.
But the creative process of opening up, of caring, taking risks, of trying to find your edge, I mean, all art forms have a lot in common.
And let's be artists. Let's create wonderful images that are evocative, that are new, that are fresh, that are telling the story in a way that's never been told before.
Cinematographer is a visual storyteller. We speak through light and shadows.
Wow. Light is a particle and a wave at the same time.
Light, the absence of dark.
The light is used to create shadows.
It's the light that enters the lens and strikes the chip or the emulsion.
It's an energy that reveals.
It's also your biggest enemy as well as your biggest friend, because it works against you as well as for you.
Light to me is like a paint to an artist.
Every light that enters a space has a causative effect.
You know, light is a form of expression, a form of storytelling. Light is pretty much life.
Light is my path to creating images.
It is our invisible force.
We'll do all of our dialogue like this with Jerry.
Well, that's not bad. Let's do that.
Great energy and action.
Oh. It's a difficult question.
How would I answer that?
A cinematographer is a storyteller.
But you're using pictures.
The eyes of the director.
We visualize the written word.
Someone who has a photographic eye and an ability to tell stories visually.
An interpreter who uses light and composition to affect an audience's perception of what's going on in that story.
It's to bring to fruition the vision of the director.
And then I work out how to make his dream or her dream come alive and get it on the screen.
Cinematography is about defining light and space.
He's got to be more than an artist, he's got to be a great leader.
An artist and a craftsman and a psychologist and a lover.
You are moving the emotions.
Goodbye.
You're telling a story. You're creating a mood. You're building character. You are touching a human being without the person realizing that you're touching them.
C'est le bästa film du ser.
Tack.
There's so many people out there doing incredible work. It's so hard to narrow it down.
I think that the truly gifted cinematographers, if you're talking about someone like an Owen Royceman or a Caleb Deschanel or a Conrad Hall, there's something obviously very special that they had coming into it.
I like Christopher Doyle.
I love Wally Pfister.
Victoria Storaro does incredible things with color.
Haskell Wexler.
How'd you do this? Get your hand off me! I haven't done anything.
Naturally, I like the work of my friends, Steve Goldblatt.
Just take my picture.
I love Philippe Rousselot's work. My friend Roger Deacon is wonderful.
I know I've been guilty of pride and sharp dealing.
I like Janusz Kaminski.
John Alonso was very much of an inspiration.
She going on a trip?
Chivo, what a genius.
Come on, hit me. Come on.
Bill Fraker shooting Rosemary's Baby with just a 50mm lens.
Conrad Hall,
Conrad Hall.
When it's done, if I'm dead, kill him.
The reason that Conrad Hall's films are so true and so distinctive and so brilliant is because Conrad Hall, the person, looked at life unflinchingly.
But I would have to say one of my favorite cinematographers was Jordan Cronenweth. He seemed to just bring it all together without any fear. It rises to a level that is almost timeless.
It's not good enough. Not good as you. I need you, Dex. I need the old Blade Runner. I need your magic.
Magic is actually when you make a movie, like let's say like Deer Hunter, and you have a good story, you have a good director, you have terrific actors, and they just somehow, everybody's work is so good, it gets together and it becomes actually a classic.
Talent is probably pretty hard to describe what talent is. I guess it's something that's instilled into you, not from birth necessarily, but maybe from education or maybe from just a natural feeling you have.
You've got to have something inside to become talented. Thinking about great cinematographers being born or made, I have no way of knowing if they're born that way.
A great cinematographer is born.
Bill Dill and I used to joke we could teach a person to be a cinematographer in 3 weeks as far as the technical aspects go.
For me, I had to have an innate desire or drive for it.
It's like, you know, it's kind of a cliche, but I think you're born with it.
You've got to have it in your bones in a way that, you know, we can't define.
That you respond at the gut level to what you're seeing in terms of how light falls and what moves you and how you cut light and add light and take light away.
Talent is 90% hard work and 10% luck.
At the same time, you have to work the 10,000 hours that it's going to take to become good at cinematography.
My father always used to tell me that, you know, when you're making a film, every frame of the film should be a perfect picture.
A good photograph always tells a story.
Telling a story in photography is way harder than telling a story in motion pictures because you have that one frame to get everything across in.
And that's ultimately what we try to do in motion pictures as well. We just do it 24 times a second.
The cinematographer's obligation is to direct the eye, and to direct the eye in the way that the story would want it to.
Film's about juxtaposition.
There's the picture, and there's the picture within the picture, and then the cut within the cut.
Or of the pan that takes you from this to that.
God knows I love photography, and I'm obsessed by it. But the movie the movie's like, is that living dream.
Before you go, if you hear me scream cut, just freeze, okay?
We should shoot this at 30 frames, huh? Wouldn't that be nice?
You don't have any other lenses? You don't have any narrow beam pars or anything, rock and roll pars, do you?
My name is Rodney Charters, and I'm a cinematographer, and I like movies.
I think the first film that really inspired me and got me interested and intrigued by cinema was Dr. Zhivago.
A Man with a Camera.
I liked Citizen Kane.
Chinatown.
We shot in Schindler's Apartment. We recreate a concentration camp with a great detail.
A Jewish boy handed them pieces of string to tie their shoes together.
Greg Toland was a great influence on me with Grapes of Wrath.
The Umberto D. It's about an old man who is ready to die and has a dog and doesn't know what to do with the dog. It's probably as good as anything else I have seen.
I Am Cuba.
Apocalypse Now.
Blade Runner is an incredible, bold exercise in just absolutely blasting out from what anybody done before.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Raiders of the Lost Ark because it is entertainment at its purest.
Breathless, the French New Wave. Rossellini, Bicycle Thief.
Knights of Cabiria.
The original Godfather.
The Godfather?
The Godfather broke the mold. No films had ever looked like that.
Now you come to me and you say, Don Corleone, give me justice. But you don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather.
I've never thought of anything as being iconic. What you do is focus up on what it is you're doing and do what you want to do to make what you're doing at that moment work.
When I was a young assistant cameraman, I used to work with Gordon Willis quite often, and I would ask him one of these questions where I expected an answer that would sort of set me free and open up the whole world of knowledge of cinematography to me. And very often his answer to my question would be, I really can't answer that. It just felt right.
I can't, there's no way I can explain this to you, because there is no process, there is no formula. And I don't care what anybody else did. I'll do what I think is appropriate for the movie to tell the story.
I think sadly, there are a number of young people who are aspiring to work in this industry who are looking for a magic pill or a magic button that somehow it'll all just be okay.
A lot of people just want to be noticed straight away and get out there. They ask, how can I get noticed? How can I become a successful filmmaker?
And I think really I can only say the same thing as I felt when I started, is that it's the same thing. You have to have your own perspective, your own way of seeing.
If you're an indie filmmaker on the internet, all I can say is follow your heart.
For me, the biggest education is just watching as much as possible.
Turn the sound off and watch the cuts. See when cuts work and when they don't work.
Be a person, and that personhood will let you be a good filmmaker because you'll learn the techniques and you'll feel good about yourself. My advice to you is work on it. It's different for me, and I can't tell you how to do it. I can encourage you to do it.
Don't walk with the Walkman on your head. Don't text all the time. Just look around you, because the life is teaching you so much about storytelling.
Watch film. Good film. Many films, great learning films, have occurred before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Learn about aesthetics, learn about art history, learn about world around you, because you have to recreate that world on the screen.
We need architecture, we need painting, we need music, we need philosophy. Only when you put all this art together you can create cinematography.
I think if you want to be a cinematographer, I would read everything you can read.
Real books, difficult books. Books that bore you at first, books that take 200 pages to get into, but they will change your life.
My bit of advice is don't take any advice from Haskell Wexler. My life, different times, different person. Do take advice from your heart and your mind, your conscience, and your connection to other people and to the globe itself.
And I feel very strongly about this for kids that are just trying to get into the industry. If you think for one moment that Hollywood gives a damn about what camera you used on a job, they don't even know. And I bet you couldn't find 3 people who would even ask. So nobody should be worried about what camera they're using. The tool is there if you know how to use it, and you've got the talent, and you've got the drive. You can shoot a damn good movie.
you.